Sairam students, let's begin with today's session of Geography, chapter number 1, Resources. Before starting, let's have a quick recap of whatever we have learnt in the last session, right? We started with the types of resources. In that, we started with natural resources, right? In natural resources, we saw the classification of natural resources on the basis of level of development and use. In that, you learnt about. Before starting with that, let me tell you once the meaning of natural resources. What did we see in that? Resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification, right? That was called as natural resources. Then further we saw the classification on the basis of level of development and use, correct? In that you saw it was divided into, that is, actual resources and potential resources, correct? Then in that we saw the actual resources means actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known to us, right? We know the location also where the resources are located, right? Then whereas we saw the potential resources are those whose entire quantity may not be known and these are not being used at present but could be used in the future, correct? Then we saw the second type also, natural resources on the basis of origin, right? In that we saw the classification of natural resources on the basis of origin was done as biotic and abiotic, right? In biotic we saw that biotic means living things and abiotic means non-living things, right? This is what we have done in the last session. Now further we will move to the next classification, that is on the basis of stock. So let's continue with the classification of natural resources on the basis of stock. Here you can see in this slide it has been shown as natural resources on the basis of stock has been classified as renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Now, let's move to what are renewable resources. You can see here renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly, okay? There are so many resources like sunlight, wind, air, etc. that are inexhaustible, right? We have them in ample quantity, correct? They are present in such vast amounts that human consumption for various purposes does not affect the total quantities much, right? So these are called as renewable resources. So in short, you can say renewable resources are also known as inexhaustible resources, right? Which cannot be inexhausted, which can be used in future also, and that is available in nature. So some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities such as solar and wind energy. But children, yet careless use of certain renewable resources like water, soil and forest can affect their stock. Like our activities, a human being's activities can however make these resources unusable. So the quantity may be more but we cannot use it. Why? Because we are deteriorating its quality, right? For example, if air becomes polluted, right, we cannot breathe it even if it is in abundant quantity, correct? We know that air is available everywhere in the nature, but then if the air is polluted, it is really difficult for us to breathe in that, correct? We cannot use it. So many natural resources are cycled with the environment by natural processes, and this keeps their quantities more or less constant on the surface of the earth. Such resources, when consumed, are replenished over time. So, if we are able to consume the entire quantity after a certain period, these quantities will be available again on the earth. Now here I have given you the example, some natural cycles like water cycles take place quite rapidly, right? Some natural cycles like water cycle and oxygen cycle which ensure that there is ample amount of water recycling throughout the surface of the earth in the environment, right? That is the example, that is the like shown in the water cycle, correct? Similarly is the case in the oxygen cycle also. But while in some cases, if we'll talk about the rock cycle, it takes very long period of time because these cycles are very slow and hence all resources do not get replenished at the same pace. So if I'll compare the water cycle and the rock cycles, the time to replenish takes a longer period. That is, the cycle goes very slow. Hence, all resources do not get replenished at the same pace. So children, some natural resources can be generated by us. What does it mean here? I'll give you one example. I have already shown you in the slide also. We can produce forest by planting trees, right? See, for some natural resources we can generate, like we can increase the forest cover on the surface of the earth. How? By planting more number of trees, right? But even such resources will ultimately be exhausted, correct? As we know, human beings, they don't plant so many trees, but if the thing comes for using it, the use is more, correct? If they are consumed faster, then they can be generated like forest. Okay, so natural resources can also be generated by us. That is the reason each and every school, everywhere the tree plantation has given the importance, so that we can have the more natural resources with us. Now let's move to the next topic, that is non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are those that were produced in the past by natural processes that occurred by chance and may not occur again, or it will take millions of years for the formation of these resources. So non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock. Once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. So these resources should be used. Now the examples of these resources are given in the next slide here. Coal, petroleum and natural gas are some of the examples of this. Now, if I'll talk some resources like iron, gold, wood, if we consume the entire quantity which is available to us, yet we can reclaim some quantity from the discarded things and we can use them again. But this cannot be done with all resources such as coal, petroleum and natural gas and fossil fuels. Once they are consumed, these cannot be reclaimed. So these are the examples of non-renewable resources. Now, on the basis of distribution, let us see the classification of natural resources. Natural resources are classified as ubiquitous resources and localized resources. Now, what is that ubiquitous resources? Resources we know are not evenly distributed, right? Are resources evenly distributed on the surface of the earth? No, they are unevenly distributed, right? But there are some resources like air we breathe, sunlight, which are found everywhere, right? So such kind of resources which are found in abundant quantities everywhere are called as ubiquitous resources. Now the next is localized resources. Now there are some resources whose concentration can be found only in certain places but not everywhere. See, as in ubiquitous you saw, we can find the resources everywhere, whereas the opposite of that is localized. That is, there are some resources whose concentration can be found only in certain places which are not found everywhere on the surface of the earth. Here the examples are given as copper and iron ore. Even fertile soil also can be included in the localized, right? Because fertile soil is also not found everywhere, right? It is found at certain places. Now just go through the slide once. What you can see in this, the types of resources has been given, that has been divided in three: natural resources, human made resources and human resources, right? Then we have seen the classification of natural resources on the basis of level of development and use, right? In that you saw it was divided into as actual resources and potential resources. Then the next one, that is on the basis of origin. Natural resources were divided into as biotic and abiotic, right? Then the next we saw on the basis of stock. In that we have learnt about the renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Then the last one was on the basis of distribution. That was ubiquitous resources and localized resources. We have learned the meaning as well as examples of each and every type of resources, right? Now, the types of resources, we just started with natural resources, right? Now we have to move on to the next topic, that is human made resources. Now, human made resources. Resources created by human beings are called human made resources. See, from the word itself, the meaning is very clear. So, everything created by us means by human beings, to fulfill our needs, demands, desires, is considered to be as human made resources, or it can be said as man made resources also. Now, the examples of this has been shown to you here. Houses, roads, buildings, bridges, hospitals, schools, much more. If I'll start counting, it will be much more than that. So, now technology is also a human made resource. The application of latest knowledge and skill in making variety of resources is called as technology. So hence technology is also considered as one of the important man-made or human-made resource. Now, see, natural substances become resources only when their original form has been changed, right? I can give you one example, that is iron ore was not a resource until people, that means the human beings, learn to extract iron from it. So people use natural resources to make many things, the examples that I gave you in the previous slides. Then only that becomes the human made resources, right? So technology is also one of the important human made resource. Then the next is human resources. Now, human beings and their qualities and abilities are called as human resources. Remember, in the introduction when we started, we learned that human beings are the most important resource of all, because we have knowledge, skill, wisdom, health and technology. Let me make you clear. See, people can make the best use of nature, right? Nature has been given to us, but then who is the one who can use it in a very possible way? Then human beings, right? To create more resources. When they have the knowledge, they have that skills, when they know the technology, how to do it. That is why human beings are considered as one of the special resource. That is, human beings are considered as an important resource. Now, people are human resources, this already I told you. Now what? Education and health help in making people a valuable resource, improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. So I hope you understood the meaning of human made resources and the human resources. Let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. Today you learnt about the natural resources on the basis of stock, that is non-renewable resources and renewable, right? In renewable resources you saw the resources which get renewed or replenished quickly, right? Then we saw non-renewable means which has a limited stock. Once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished, correct? Then the next, on the basis of the distribution, we saw the resources as ubiquitous resources or localized resources. Resources that are found everywhere. The example was sunlight, air, that are included in ubiquitous resources, right? Then the next was localized. That is, the resources which are found only in certain places are called as localized resources, right? Then the next topic, you saw about the human-made resources and the human resources. What is that human-made resources? We saw that people use, and people means human beings, use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machineries, and many more things which are known as human-made resources, right? In that, technology is also considered as one of the human-made resource. Then the further we saw about the human resource, people can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have the knowledge, skill and technology to do so. That is why human beings are the special resource and people are also included as human resources, right? And we saw about the human resource development, right? How it can be done by improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources. That is human resource development. So this is what we have seen in the today's session. So children, I hope you understood the today's topic very well, right? Now here's an activity for you. See, today you have completed with the classification of natural resources on the basis of level of development and use, on the basis of origin, on the basis of stock, and on the basis of distribution. Here you can see in the activity the boxes have been given to you. You have to make the same one in your assignment sheet. Fill all the boxes very well according to the distribution. See you in the next session. Till then, take care.